everybody, one of Weezem here. It is now early Friday morning, a little after 1:30 I believe, and that's it, we have almost done it. It has been a very long week, very tiring weekend. I've got a real job, I'm at work the vast majority of the day. I don't sleep much at all, and that's it, it is almost paid off. We've almost unboxed everything, and it's a good thing because we're literally maxed out on space here on the pool table. And some of the characters are in fact over on the Portal of Power and on my desk and on the Wii balance board and in front of the TV ready to be introduced. That said, what we have, the last thing really from our initial Wave 1 run here, is going to be the first of its kind. It's our first sort of triple pack action, and this is actually the Sea Racing Action Pack. Now, there's going to be a few of these. There's going to be Land, Sea, and Sky. I believe we're going to have a legendary version, which will be exclusive at Toys R Us, but essentially what these are going to do, they're going to pair a character with a vehicle and a trophy. So I mentioned to you in the Dark Edition unboxing how important that trophy was. Not just the Dark Edition characters, not just Dark Bowser and the Dark Clown Cruiser, Dark Turbocharged DK, and the Barrel Blaster, but the trophy. That's why I have the Chaos Trap stacked in them, the Ultimate Chaos Trap and then our standard one over there. These trophies will unlock additional content that'll allow you to go after it's basically boss pursuit mode. Again, I've yet to experience this in-game. I'm trying to go about it in an orderly fashion. Breeze through chapters 1 through 5, mainly so I can get to the academy so we can introduce the characters we've unboxed here. But everything will come in due time. But what you need to understand, view this as an expansion pack, an adventure pack, whatever you want to call it. Sunscraper Spire, the Midnight Museum, Darklight Crypt, Pirate Seas. This is basically additional content for the game paired with a Skylander and a vehicle. So right now this is the only way you can get Deep Dive Gill Grunt and the Reef Ripper, let alone the trophy here, which will unlock additional tracks for us. That said, it is the Golden Queen's head. If you didn't play Skylanders Trap Team, that is the Golden Queen. She played a prominent role in the game. Won't tell you much more than that. You're welcome to backtrack, experience the story for yourself. That said, when you come in and you do the boss pursuit mode, you essentially can then race against villains, defeat them, and then unlock them as a playable character in the game. Not necessarily in the game, but in racing, I suppose. And so if you're a huge Golden Queen fan, you want to pick this up, you're going to need to go through it. I assume there will be like a tier of villains, you know, maybe the Chompy Mage and Dr. Crankcase or somebody, maybe some lesser knowns or some more common villains that you might enjoy. And then kind of like the granddaddy, the master race, the final showdown, if you will, the championship, it'll unlock the Golden Queen in this case. So that's what we know, that's what we're going to go with. But again, Deep Dive Gill Grunt, Water Element Supercharger, the Sea Trophy, which is again the Golden Queen, and the Reef Ripper, which is Water Element and a sea-based vehicle. So cannot stress this enough. If you think, man, no way I'm gonna buy that, the Reef Ripper's cool, but I've got Dive Bomber, I've got Sea Shadow, I'm out. No more Gill Grunt. Here's where that logic might be flawed. Now, you might legitimately just be sick of the guy. He's had a pose in every game. But here's the kicker. This is a totally new and reimagined Gill Grunt. You're not going to have Water Weaver. You're not going to have the anchor cannon. You're not going to have the attacks you're used to, the upgrades that you've come to know and expect or, you know, get sick of. There's no new Wow Pow. It's a totally different Gill Grunt. You can probably guess, like, you don't remember the golden flippers, you don't remember the trident thing. This is a guy that's going to have totally different base attacks, totally different base upgrades, 2 different paths, and a different soul gem. So what you know in the previous iterations of Gill Grunt, that has all changed with Supercharged Gill Grunt. That's going to be the same for every returning character. Sharkshooter, Terrafin, Legendary Hurricane, Jetvac, you know, Lava Lance, Eruptor. They're all totally new movesets. I cannot stress that enough. I feel like a lot of people are still missing the ball on that one. And so, yes, it is Gill Grunt. You know, if you're kind of sick of him, you're like, I wish he had different attacks. This is that Gill Grunt. This is a fresh take, totally new attacks, and that is something that people need to understand. Please relay it to folks. If you see people bypassing this for that reason, understand. Or even some of the returning characters, like, oh my gosh, another stealth elf, come on, you know. Maybe you bought the starter pack and you're going to hawk your super shot stealth elf. Do not do, number one, stealth elf, even if it was the same move, she's OP and you need her. But now it's super shot stealth elf, totally different move set. So at least give them a chance, essentially. From what I have heard, Orion's Island on the Skylander Club Forum says he is freaking sweet. So we'll have to see how that goes. That's it. You can see our new supercharged Deep Dive Gill Grunt there piloting the Reef Ripper. Very nice. I mean, this is a really nice artwork on the packaging. There's the Golden Queen. Again, it looks like that's what she's going to be piloting in this game. As you can see, new race tracks, and you can race as villains. So that's what you're going to want to go after here. Note the kind of a pirate ship look in the background, a volcano. Probably chances are just how in SSA my favorite levels tended to be the adventure packs. If I had to pick out a Sector 4, there's a very good chance there's going to be some memorable tracks. You're going to have not played them. I'm just speculating, but I think I know how they tend to do things at this point, so keep that in mind. That said, there's Deep Dive Gill, the Reef Ripper, and the Sea Trophy. Those are our three items in this kit. Now, with the Sea Trophy in your hand on the portal, and then you unlock new content. And the ability, of course, to defeat and race as the villains. If you could care less about that, you can just progress through. I assume in order to progress through, you probably have to defeat them anyway. But it's going to bring you new tracks. It's kind of like Mario Kart 8. They had the DLC, and it added expansive new tracks and cups. That's basically what this is, but you get something physical paired with of Skylander and their vehicle. So let's see what they're going to tell us about it. Epic new sea race track. So I'll assume this is going to be all sea. Again, can't guarantee it, have not experienced it, but I'm going to roll with it. You can battle villains in championship tournaments. This should be a lot of fun. I'm kind of hopeful that they might bring like tournament brackets in an update or something. I think that would go over very well. Anyway, that's another story, another day. You can defeat and race as villains. Once again, there you are. It looks squaring off with the Golden Queen, which that's an odd-looking track, but it seems like it might be fun. And right here, you have the challenging mirror race mode. If we go with traditional kart racers, that basically means you're going backwards, type of a deal. So we'll have to investigate that. And then you can also race against your friends. Now, if I have this, and we'll say Daphne doesn't have it, I don't know if I can pick the track and she could race with me. It's one of those deals, I haven't gotten to that point. Same thing, say that Rob from CoinOps got it, I've got it. We're paired up on the console. We're going to be good to go in that case, I'd imagine. But if it's a deal where you've got it and your friend doesn't, I honestly just don't know. I'll investigate it as I can. Now, right here, this is great because it's actually the characters in this pack. And you can match your character and vehicle to supercharge. So there's Deep Dive Gill Grunt, the Reef Ripper, and there it looks quite different, you'll say, and that's because it's supercharged. Again, you only get that with a signature vehicle. If we pilot Water Element Supercharger Dive Bomber, who's over here, with the Reef Ripper, he can pilot it just fine. Won't be supercharged. Earth Element Terrapin, he can pilot it, won't be supercharged. He could go all the way back to Series 1 Flameslinger. Or I meant to say Sunburn there. And he can pilot it, but it won't be supercharged. So, coming over here, also available is the Sky Racing Action Pack. Not yet. That's so cruel. It's not yet available. What it's going to have, though, is Astro Blast, the Sunrunner, and the Sky Trophy, which, as you can see there, who is that? Well, that's the greatest villain of them all, Wolfgang. So that is a must-buy. The cool thing here, I am excited for this guy. I was more interested in High Volt. He is right up there with him. And the vehicle looks like it should be pretty fun. It's cool because it's light element. That's something new we haven't experienced too much, just introduced in Trap Team. But there will be Legendary Astro Blast and the Legendary Sunrunner. So that's the Toys R Us exclusive. So if you love Astro Blast, you can come in and you can go that route. I don't know if they'll do anything special or different on the tracks. Again, we'll have to wait and see on that. But that is about all she wrote. I kind of feel bad for opening this. It looks that good. That's it. I need it opened out of my life on the pool table, introduced, so I can finally play the frickin' game some more. that is the downside of what I do. You know, the unboxings and introductions. It means a lot to me to provide that content for you and to kind of have it on the table so people sort of know what to expect with which characters. But on the flip side, everybody else I know is just like breezing through the game, or actually the vast majority don't even seem to be playing the game as much as they are just racing online. So here I am doing unboxings and introductions, but I'll take one for the team. Some portal master out there has to do it, I suppose. What am I doing awkwardly down here? I am trying to prevent the sticker sheet stat cards from falling out, and I did it. So I'm proud of myself. Very late, I'm extremely tired. Deep Dive Gill Grunt, there he is, the Sea Trophy and the Reef Ripper. Note, this is taped. If you want to cut this out, use it for your storage containers, keep that little placard to put up somewhere or something. Do all of that, or cut the tape before you rip the figures out. Otherwise, you run a very high risk of tearing the paper somewhere you would rather not. Now me, I'm only concerned with the characters, so I'm just going to snap that back. It worked beautifully. And let's start with anything that will come out easy, and the answer is nothing. Nothing will come out easy. So we'll start here on the left-hand side, because that's how we read a book. So don't grab him by the trident or the helmet. We're going to pop him out from the bottom. And I can already tell I'm going to like the figure way better than I thought I would, if that makes any sense. Now we move on again. I'm holding it here, but very loosely. I apply all of the pressure here to the plastic. And I do that just in case. This kind of goes back to our light core and our giant figures, you know. But we want to manipulate the plastic, keep this intact. There's our trophy. Again, we're running out of real estate over here. And last but not least, be very careful with this. That's a pivot point, so we want to come in. Let's try to get our hand, I guess, just here. And again, work the plastic. That was the easiest thing to get out. And the down goes dive bomber. Dive clops, I should say. Might have said dive bomber earlier. I don't know. I, again, am tired. So, we've got everything opened up here. Let's go ahead. We got 2 sticker sheet stat cards. This is the Reef Ripper. Again, the artwork and the name tag, if you want that on your collection poster, notebooks, whatever you do. And then right here, we have Deep Dive Gill Grunt. That'll come into focus. Again, this is the hybrid sticker sheet stat card. I know my viewers in particular are very bummed about this. I feel the same way. Nonetheless, artwork, name tag. This is not a standalone sticker. I think you can make it one. You can cut it out. You can cut it and tape it. But power 200, armor 210, agility 110, luck 180. Pretty decent stats, it seems. But we will set that stuff down and to the side. Again, what I will do with that, I'll treat it just like the stat card, where I basically archive it in a binder sleeve and alphabetically by element, etc. And then I'll put the Reef Ripper one on the back side or in a vehicle page, something like that. So that's it. I guess let's take a look at the trophy first, right? So here it is. It's gold. That's very fitting for a trophy, and that's very fitting for the Golden Queen. So well played selection there. My favorite part of this, I like the base and the continuity between it, but I like the way the water is just like sandwiched. It's almost like the trophy is coming up, floating on the water, and then there's just a base, you know, that it rests upon. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but essentially the sandwiched water is just something that really, I don't know, it's kind of like an extra eye candy, and I enjoy that. So, but that's the Golden Queen's face. It is very accurate, I would have to say. She's got her typical garb there. You can kind of see the winged Egyptian jewelings, if you will. Inside of the cup, you want to put candy in there, peppermint, a $20 bill, and race your family on Friday night game night or something. Hey, go for it. You know, let's have some fun. But let's take a look at the bottom here. This is cool. I did not know what to expect. That is the sea. So essentially, if you got land, sea, and sky vehicles, this is the sea trophy, and they've indicated that with a sea logo, if you will. So that's about all we can cover on the trophy, for better or worse. That's not a bad idea. The family game night with some cash wagered. You know, the person gets the bounties and gets to go pick up their favorite Skylander, if you will. So here we go. Now, to date, my favorite Gill Grunt pose has been Series 2. Series 2 Gill Grunt, what did I love about him? that. He had the hydro pack on his back, but he had the upstream, and it was sweet. This takes that to the next level. There's a continuity between the water. It looks more realistic, like a jet stream of water would. The coloration is fantastic with sort of that like aquamarine color playing on the copper or brass. He's got some pelts here on his armor. He's got flippers. If you're a fan of flippers, this is the Gill Grunt for you. It's very fishy, as it should be with Gill Grunt. He's got the same adornment there. He's got the color accents here, and then he's got this trident thing that we know nothing about. But again, totally new moveset. You can see the Rift engine here, the front cover. We've got the water element logo. He's got one flipper kind of on this valve cover. This one is up in the air. I can slide my fingers through there with no issues between the plenum and valve cover. That's because, once again, he is suspended by the freaking sweet jet stream of water, and that just makes for a killer pose. In the packaging, you just kind of see that. And with the standard SuperChargers, always at the back, there's sort of like that uptick of bones or the earth or leaves or whatever element they are. This, though, that is cool. And again, me personally, Series 2 Gill Grunt stood out for that reason, and now Supercharged Deep Dive Gill Grunt stands out for the same reason. So, if I can get that to focus, there's our water element logo. You can kind of see, there's a horrible glare, there we go. So, that's cool, and again, it ties in perfectly with that stream of water. It looks real. I don't know what I'm trying to like convey, but I mean, that looks legit. It's almost like he's just over here hovering, you know, type of a situation. So, very aggressive pose for Gill Grunt. Usually one of the more like comical, passive-aggressive looks. This is intense for him. It's kind of hard with the fish eyes to convey that, but I think he's doing a good job of it. So, nice kind of gold color here, which is a good contrast. Again, personally, I kind of prefer like the penny colors that we've got, but I love the contrast. It makes more sense to have that on the armor. Something that I am a huge fan of, though, you've got the traditional like scaly, you know, fish color that he's always been here, but check out his like racing suit there. I don't know that this is gonna do it justice, but it's almost like, what it would be the best, it's again kind of like a misty chrome color without the metallic. I don't know, the color shift is not there, but it's sort of like a blue-green metallic. I don't really know what better way to describe it than that. Again, there doesn't seem to be any chameleon to it. It's just a very cool color, and I think, why are we having such a hard time showcasing it? From here, it just looks like a dark blue or a dark green color, but there is some metallic to it, and I don't know that you're able to see that in the camera, but I assure you, out of the pack, this guy is freaking sweet. So, like I said, Orion's Island, I think maybe a few other people I've seen chatter from said he is a beast in game. And I believe they were loving the Reef Ripper too. So, granted, people's opinions vary, but I have to say, based on the figure, I've got high expectations for the little Gillman. So, we're going to sit him down. Actually, we're not. We're going to come up here and read his bio. So, Gill Grunt was a brave soul who joined the Gilman military in search of adventure. While journeying through a misty lagoon in the clouds, he met an enchanting mermaid. He vowed to return to her after his tour. Keeping his promise, he came back to the lagoon years later, only to learn a nasty band of pirates had kidnapped the mermaid. Heartbroken, Gill Grunt began searching all over Skylands. Though he had yet to find her, he joined the Skylanders to help protect others from such evil, while still keeping an ever-watchful eye for the beautiful mermaid and the pirates who took her. So, classic Gill Grunt story. Again, the only thing I would have liked to have seen added, how did he come with the Reef Ripper? You know, how did Eon, or he and Eon, or some other entity, Whamshell or something, what is the backstory there? How did he come to the Reef Ripper? You know, was it custom built for him? Did he design it? Was it passed on by, you know, his former Gilman military? That, just to me, it would have been like kind of icing on the cake. Again, not many people care too much for those details, but I do, and generally the people that watch my videos are the same mindset. So that's kind of where I would like to go with it. But according to the strat guide, max health 270, speed 35, armor 24, critical hit 6, elemental power 25. So nothing too crazy there, but that's Gill Grunt. Here is his artwork, if you care to see it. Again, very menacing looking dude this time around, is he not? Let's set that down, and along with Deep Dive Gill Grunt. Can you see him over there? Not really. Geez. Okay. There we go. So he's ready to strike Fiesta, apparently. He just blends in sort of with the pool table, does he not? Interesting. That said, now we have got the Reef Ripper. Now, the Reef Ripper, we'll kind of take a detailed look at the end here. But while you're looking at it, attacks. You've got the Ocean Upheaval. Tap attack 1 to shoot a trident at enemies. Dun 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 dun. Nice tie-in with the character. And Electrify the Tail. Tap attack 3 to electrify nearby enemies. If that's a 360 radial attack, that could make him extremely useful for the sea-based tracks. Now, what we'll do here, if you want to race with Reef Ripper, this is what is recommended. Racing sea vehicles usually require some adjustments for slipping and sliding while turning. Reef Ripper handles almost like a land vehicle on a slick surface, and it may take a few races to adjust to that. So that's interesting. Ocean Upheaval makes life tough for racers immediately ahead of Reef Ripper. It doesn't inflict notable damage, but having an attack that follows targets is huge. Electrify the Tail keeps heavier vehicles honest. They can't push you around in Reef Ripper when they need to. Worry about electricity frying them. So, if you're going up against Reef Ripper and you're having some trouble, here's what they advise. When you're up against Reef Ripper, lean on your vehicle's strengths. Reef Ripper is so balanced there's no obvious weakness to exploit. That is fantastic news for Reef Ripper drivers, bad news for everyone else. You're safe in a chase position so long as you don't get close enough to get nailed by Electrify the Tail. So, in other words, good luck passing him. I guess you need to go wide or wait for an opportune moment. So, we'll set that down, and then we'll come in here together to take a look at his performance mod. Actually, there are the stats that I so badly wish had numbers tied in with them, but that's what they are. So, right here, performance mods, you've got the Gill Drill for plus 10 handling, the Spearfish Driver plus 10 top speed. You got the Thumpback Plow for plus 300. Nice tie-in with Thumpback there, I would have to say. And the Trident Spearheads, which those look pretty cool, plus 10 acceleration. Coming over here to the specialty mods, Aquafin Turbine for plus 10 acceleration. Sharkfin Blaster, nice tie, a nod back to Sharkfin, I would have to say. Plus 10 top speed, minus 5 weight. Whale Flipper, 150 armor, plus 5 weight. And then right there, the Tidal Wave Crasher, plus 5 for your top speed, plus 5 for your handling. If you care about the horns, you've got the Reviving Gurgler, the Ocean Buzz, the High Tide Honker, and the Thumpback Call. So, that is that. We have covered the trophy. We have covered Deep Dive Gill Grunt. We have covered what you need to know about the Reef Ripper. Now let's take a look at the Reef Ripper to wrap this up. The coloration is nice. I've not seen a Skylander in this color that I can think of off the top of my head. Chill was not done like this. Slam Bam not done like this. It's sort of a, I don't know, like a light teal metallic, maybe would be the best way to describe it. Then you've got, of course, the gold accents, kind of a brassy gold, but I would say probably, well, let's see, maybe it is a bit more of a brass color. I would say the Trident is gold and that's brass, so it's somewhere, it is in the middle. If you were to mix what you see there on his bands with the Trident, I feel like we would come up with this color. So it's truly kind of like a mix of those two. Now, what's really unique on the vehicle is the use of the yellow glass, right? So we've got sort of the visor here, you know, his viewing window from the vehicle, yellow tinted. It's not really glass, it's plastic, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Same thing here on the sight glasses on the side. You've got the same instances going on. Really adds a nice vibe to it. And they tied that in with this translucent kind of like stinger. I guess that would be like the Electrify the Tail type deal. Now, where its pivot point is, it just goes side to side, basically like a fish. There's no up and down. I guess there's a slight up and down. It's not intentional though, but side to side, again, that's basically how a fish swims in the water, if you will. So have fun with that. Again, do not use it as a bath toy. That is frowned upon and might result in bad things happening. Right there, you got the water element logo. I think you can see it there. And bottom side pretty much detailed out the same as the front. But I have to say, the other thing I like about this looks like a helmet. You know, if I take these little, you know, fins off on the bottom, that almost looks like someone's head, does it not? You know, you have their, you know, neck here. It's the Archean Overlord of the Seas or something. It's cool. It's a nice tie-in, and then when you kind of spin it to the side, it maintains that, but you can appreciate it's kind of like a fish-inspired submarine, which that's what you would expect from Gill Grunt, I would imagine. So that's it. I've heard good things about it. Not many things, but everything I've heard has been raved spectacularly about this. So I'll be excited to get it in the game. Once again, something I want to attempt to reiterate with these returning characters: they're not the same movesets. They're brand new, totally reimagined. Hence, this isn't like Whamshell and Gill Grunt collide. This is a brand new Gill Grunt. So keep that in mind. Maybe that'll help you go ahead and make the decision to purchase it there. Again, didn't cover the details on the flippers, but I think you can kind of see it there. So Reef Ripper and Deep Dive Gill Grunt team up to make the supercharged Reef Ripper, and of course coupled right there with our not dark, everything's been dark so far, but with our sea trophy of the Golden Queen. You unlock new tracks, you unlock the boss pursuit stuff, you can play as the villains that you defeat. Very, very cool deal. $34.99 is the price. Have not seen any issues with that thing being obtained just yet, and like I said, we've got some more race expansion packs coming very soon, so be on the lookout for those. That said, can't wait to get these guys in the game, see what they are all about, and until next time, hopefully you enjoyed. If so, leave a like, leave a comment. What are your thoughts? Have you played this? Were you aware that he has reimagined powers and upgrades? How do you feel about the Golden Queen being selected? Would you have liked to have seen Gulper? Would you have done Brawlrus, something along those lines for your trophy selection? Are you cool with that? Are you thinking it's a good thing that they brought in the extra tracks, or would you prefer that it all just been there and this just bring in villains you can race as? Whatever your thoughts may be, feel free to post them up and get the discussion rolling. If you're really into this stuff, I encourage you to check out the Skylander Club Forum, SkylanderClub.com. You can follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, plus my personal site, once again, oneofweasem.com. Again, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do that. As of right now, I'm basically caught up on the unboxing side. That said, I'm going to try to go out tomorrow since I got paid and pick up the standard Wii U edition, so I'll have turbocharged Donkey Kong. I'm kind of a sucker for that stuff, but nonetheless, if I pick that up, we'll have another unboxing or two to do, and stay tuned for those. But in the meantime, the introductions are rolling. I've got some rendering out now. I'm trying to figure out the best way to introduce the vehicles, and then of course we'll have gameplay not only from Skylanders SuperChargers on the Wii U and Xbox One. We'll have co-op stuff coming, maybe some online eventually, and simultaneously I'll be attempting to play through Skylander SuperChargers racing on the Wii. So, needless to say, whatever you're in the mood for, there's some coming your way Skylanders wise. So be sure to subscribe. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a little something here, get a new appreciation for Deep Dive Gill Grunt or something. And that's it. I will catch you back here for more Skylander SuperChargers unboxings.